So I'm having a chat with Mia Wray. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad, thanks so much. So, latest single of yours is Tell Her. We've been giving it a spin. Tell us a little bit about it.
Um, well, it's hard to tell you like a little bit about it without like telling you like the whole story, but basically it was the first co-write that I did out of a writing trip that I did here in London probably like close to a year ago. It was like last year in September. And and I was having this kind of quarter life crisis, I guess. And I'd been in a relationship with my ex partner for about 7 years. And by chance, I met this girl. And basically, I think like what she represented for me was it was less about her and more about like what I guess she represented. And um it kind of just flipped everything upside down. I was overseas by myself for the first time. So I had met her, and then 2 weeks later, I was doing this writing trip all of a sudden, and I was by myself. And basically, it kind of just made me face myself for the first time in like a long time. And I couldn't really talk to anyone about it because I didn't have any friends or family with me. So all I could do was write about it. And I ended up writing like a whole album about her and like this situation of what yeah, what she kind of brought to light to me. And yeah, this was the first co-write that I did with Gabrielle Aplin, um, Seaton, Dawn, and Ash House in Bath. And I basically just sat on the couch being like, I know I just met you guys, but like I've been with my partner for like 7 years, and I thought I was happy, but I've met this girl and it's changed everything, and I don't know what to do. And I guess this track specifically is just kind of like playing with the idea of having a crush on someone and feeling really excited about it, but also feeling really scared and worried about like the uncertainty of the future. Like I ended up coming back home and breaking up with my partner, and this girl had no idea that, I had a crush on her, or like that, you know, there was no guarantee that anything was going to happen. But although like a lot of people say like, oh, it sounds like a very like happy bop kind of thing, but it's also like
Mm.
a life changing kind of like, fuck, like I don't know if this is going to work out, and I just have to accept that I've got a really big crush on someone that I have no idea about. And yeah, it was the beginning of a very interesting journey for me.
Yeah, and
But yeah, that's like, I mean, I know that's a very long-winded way of talking about it, and yeah, you can cut it down or grab grab bits from it, but
I'm keeping it all
yeah,
in.
that's um that's the best way I can cut it
Yeah.
down.
Yeah. And how are you now? Are you okay now?
Yeah, I'm great. Yeah, it's awesome. It's it's been it's been a very it's yeah it's been a big time of self-discovery, which has been awesome, and I feel really liberated.
Good.
So yeah,
Yeah.
good.
Good. Good. And you mentioned you've written an album, and I believe the plan is to release that next year. What can people
Yeah.
expect when they get a chance to take a listen?
um I mean, like, I haven't been asked this question yet. I think like it's just, you know most of the songs are about the idea of this girl, and I think mostly what I hope for people to take away from this um is maybe just like a bit of inspiration to kind of just take a leap of faith and go with your gut. And although you don't know if you're going to be landing in a safe space, it's worth the jump, because otherwise you'll be left wondering what if, you know.
Yeah.
And so I hope that's the message that people get from this album. And also, like, you know, it's a really fun album, and there's a lot of, I think, really great pop songs in here. And it's just it's a bit of a fuck it kind of story. Like, I was very safe in my space before this, and everything was really certain, and I knew what my future was. But I just had this lingering gut feeling that something wasn't right, and I needed to do something about it. And I finally did, and it felt really good. So I hope that people take away that message from this album.
Yeah, good, good. And
Mm.
for the last 3 weeks, you've been touring. Only you've been doing your headline shows, and you've done some shows recently with DMAs as well. How have the last few weeks gone for you?
Yeah, good. I will say British crowds are really hard. They're tough, and like, especially, you know, when they haven't come to see you, because, you know, I'm supporting the DMAs. Um, it's hard, but I do a lot of banter back home, which always goes down really well. But I'm noticing that the key to a British crowd is don't talk and just sing, and that's how you win them over. You just do the thing, and then they can sit back and cross their arms and be like, you know what, she's all right, kind of thing. Instead of me being like, hey guys, what's up? They're like, shut up and just sing.
You know, for next time.
Yeah, totally. Nah, but it's going really good. Really, really good.
Yeah, good, good. And coming up in 2024, I believe you've got some more shows coming down the line. You've got some home shows in Australia. Where else can we see you next year? What's the plan?
Yeah, so I'm doing a tour back home, and then I'm jumping on the Somersault Festival back home as well. And then really actually hoping to come, it's nothing's final yet, but I would love to come back to the UK during the summer months over here. And I feel like every time I come over here, it's like for 3 weeks, and I have to jam pack everything in, and I don't have time to do a lot of other exciting things that I would be able to do if I, you know, was here for a longer amount of time. So crossing my fingers that I get to come over here for, you know, a few months or more, and do some shows over here. Um, I think my music really lends itself to a UK crowd, and I would really love to give more of myself to this place, because I love it so much. Even though
Yeah.
it's so grim at the moment, being cold, but it'll be worth it. And I know London is so beautiful in the summer as well. So really hoping to come back and do some more.
Great stuff. Great. And let's talk a little bit about the writing side of things.
Mm.
So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
Um, well, you like, I mean, a co-write, for example, it starts off with me with this situation and this album. I hadn't met any of the writers pre coming into the room, so it's very strange walking into a room with a bunch of strangers, and then I end up just crying on a couch for like a couple of hours, being like, this happened, and then this happened, and I don't know what to do. And it's like a counseling session. And then, you know, a few chords gets thrown together, and I start kind of riffing over that. And then, you know, because I had a lot of drama happening in my life, we were spoilt for choice as to what to write about. But yeah, usually it's a lot of talking through a story, or, you know, whatever is going on in my life. And then, yeah, there's a bit of a melody that starts happening that suits the mood that I'm in, or the mood of, you know, what we want to write about. And then start writing down thoughts in my notes, and that gets into lyrics. And yeah, that's kind of usually how it comes together.
Yeah, and when you've got the melody sorted and you need to add lyrics to it, how easy do you find it to add lyrics to a tune that you've already made?
Oh my God, it's so hard. I hate writing lyrics. Like I that's my biggest struggle. And I think that's the main thing that I need to work on is writing better lyrics because I feel very confident with melody because it's a very I have a lot of good intuition when it comes to like what melody feels good for me or feels good for the song. Um, but when it comes to lyrics, I'm absolute rubbish. And I learn a lot in co-writes because I can see how other people work and how they put things together. So I really enjoy watching stuff like that come together. But it takes me a long time to think of lyrics. The other thing that I feel really grateful for is sometimes they just kind of pour out of me and I don't know where it comes from, but it just kind of happens and I don't have to think about it. It's either that or I'm like knocking my head against a brick wall trying to like figure it out, but there's no in between. I haven't figured out a good system for lyrics, but they're bloody hard.
There's plenty of time. Mia, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
No,